Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you are doing well. As you can tell by the title of this video, we are talking transfer targets here today. And a little bit of a different video. I got a little bit more time up my hands over the Easter period, so I thought I'd just do a bit of a video talking through some of the most traded in and traded out players, which will kind of form a trade talk sort of video and let you know my plans ahead of this week. Even though I did drop my team reveal yesterday, you might be able to tell if you're astute enough on screen that a few of my trades have changed from what I said I was going to do yesterday. So I've been tinkering with my side, which is why I want to put this video together so I can talk you through why I've made the moves that I've made as well. So if you've enjoyed the content, thank you to everybody who subscribed lately and hit the like button and commented. I've been trying to reply to all the comments as soon as I can, but I really appreciate all the support and the kind words that everyone's been giving me. The channel has been going really nice and steadily over the last few weeks, which is fantastic. But if we can try to push to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, that would be great. So the most traded in player already on Tuesday is Sardal Hooley. We did say that he was coming into my side this week. There's a huge possibility that he is in my side. The good thing with Sard is on Friday we'll know whether he's the sub or not, and there'll only be the Thursday Collingwood game and the the Good Friday Carlton North Melbourne game before the Essendon West Coast. So we'll know pretty early on Friday whether he'll be the sub or not, and that'll kind of dictate whether I go with him. I am a bit worried that, if he's not the sub at the start of the game, that he could be a sub out risk as well. But he goes West Coast, Collingwood, North Melbourne, Sydney, Bulldogs, Richmond. He's got a really good run. If he can get that half-back role, he's really the only explosive half-back if Martin's playing up the ground. So there's definitely a world where he can score really, really well. My worries are that he's not quite locked into that team long term. I feel like when you've got Pryor, Reid, McGrath, Redmond, Ridley, all sort of around the side, there's just not many Guernseys up for grabs in that defence. So I'm a little bit concerned that he could be subject to some red vests. So great option if you need to go him for your downgrades, but the next player I want to talk about is Nick Daicos. You can see there's a little icon next to Nick Daicos' name. I have at this stage gone and grabbed Nick Daicos. What I like from Nick Daicos is his midfield time. He's right up there in the high 80s for CBAs as well. He's around the ball. He had the tag last week and he just ran James Jordan off his feet. He's been tackling a bit more. He's gone 4-4-9 in the last few weeks as well. Obviously, in that Carlton game, he gave away 4 free kicks, which, if he's going to giving away, say, 2, he's close to a, 90s score in that game. The marks aren't quite there yet, but I think Brisbane, Essendon, Geelong, Fremantle, Crows, North isn't a bad run. Hawks isn't great, but then Melbourne then into his buy in round 14. I don't think you're going to get Nick Daicos much cheaper than $1 million on the dot. So I just think sometimes you just got to pull the trigger and get these really, really good players when they're priced at a point where you can get to them. Again, an 86 break even, he could absolutely go and smash that. And he's just a quality midfielder. There's a couple options around him that I do like the look of as well. One is in this top 10 list. One isn't. That one I don't mind going to is Tom Green. If I had unlimited funds, I'd go to Tom Green probably over Nick Daicos. But Daicos is the type of player that does scare me a little bit not owning him. So the fact that he's in my midfield, and I'll show you my team towards the end of this video, Nick Daicos is just somebody who, if you've got a Garcia, if you've got a Hall, and you're doing an SDK down and you can turn them into a Nick Daicos, I think that's pretty much a non-negotiable trade for me. And I'll explain when I put my team up why I made the change to some of my plans from the week as well. Now, Caden Cleary, short term, I absolutely love this pick. If you're prepared to get on and get off sort of before his buy, because Sydney do have a few players not in the side. Poor Gold Coast GWS isn't a fantastic run, especially for a half forward, but he's someone who puts on a lot of pressure. 6 tackles, 7 tackles. He is going to score well. The break even of -20. He is going to make some quick cash, but Papley's out for a while, but there's Mills, there's McInerney, and there's a couple others as well, Cunningham, that are coming back into this Sydney side. So I'm a bit worried that over the next couple of weeks he could lose his spot. And when I'm looking at these downgrade targets, the one that I've locked in is someone who I think is locked in their side long term. But Caden Cleary, if you need a forward option, if you've got no flexibility and you need to downgrade somebody in your forward line to a forward option, I do like the Caden Cleary move. And, 6.4 thousand people have already made that move. So I like the thought of a Caden Cleary, but I like Tom Gross a little bit more. Do I think the ceiling's as high for Gross? Probably not. Playing midfield for West Coast isn't a great situation, but when I watch Tom Gross play, he looks like a proper footballer. He's got the -14 break even. He is going to make cash. He's got Essendon, Hawthorn, but then Melbourne, Richmond, St Kilda, Adelaide, Geelong, North, Carlton. It's a good run for midfielders as well. His time on ground's really good. He's pushing 80%. His CBAs are fantastic as well because I think West Coast are starting to just commit to their young midfielders. He just looks like a really, really good footballer, and I can't see West Coast taking him out of the side anytime soon because they need to get games into these guys. Clay Hall is another option that needs to be playing midfield time. They've got Harley Reid, who's still developing. Tim Kelly will come back into the side, so I expect Tim Kelly to come in and take a little bit of the CBAs away from Tom Gross. But Essendon's not the worst matchup. If Baker's in there, if Kelly's in there, they're going to cop the tag first. So I feel like Gross is going to be the kind of guy who's going to be able to go get 70s. And if that's on my bench or if that's at M8, then I'm perfectly fine with a Tom Gross. So he's my choice, who I think I'm going to go with at 321k as my downgrade target this week. So he's already in my side. But between El Hooley and Gross, I feel like they're the two. If you need the defender, go El Hooley. If you need the midfielder, go Gross. Go from there. But I'd sign off moves either way. So very happy with Tommy Gross. Zach Merritt, I think it's him versus Dacos. You're talking about 130k difference between a Merritt and a Dacos. Merritt has been brilliant this season. Break even of 105. Goes into West Coast, Collingwood North before Sydney, and then really Bulldogs, Richmond, Brisbane, Carlton, Geelong, Fremantle's not the worst run either. I love Zach Merritt. Again, he's someone who I really like getting into my team, but at 1.13, I just think it's still pushing a bit much. He's only gone up 15k, so he's been lingering around the same price. He's just got the potential to go and kick goals. 2, 4, 0, 0. Marks are consistent. Tackles are consistent. He's going to be a primarily on-baller for Essendon. Again, if someone says to me, Paulie, I want Zach Merritt, go get him. He's a quality midfielder. Could easily be the number one scoring midfielder this year just because of how reliant Essendon are on him. So, but I'm not going there because I'm still looking at a little bit more value in a Nick Dacos, but I could see a world where you definitely want to go with Zach Merritt. Riley Bice, I don't think I need to talk about him. If you don't own Bice at 500k, you might have missed out, which is why everyone jumped on him last week. Break even of -28. If he scores a 70, he's going to be close to 600k, which is just incredible. So the cash gen is amazing, and I feel like if you've not got him, you've probably missed him. There's still 2.6 thousand getting on at 500k. If you're turning an SDK down to him, then it's not the end of the world, but you're not making heaps of cash anymore, which is a little bit frustrating because I went Freya to a Bice last week. So, his cash is definitely going in the right direction. Matty Carroll, again, priced at 266. I don't know. I didn't see enough of this game to get an idea on how he went. He only had the 12 touches, but 8 marks. I just think Carlton I'd be avoiding going into any of their guys because the chopping block's well and truly out. They haven't found the mix yet. They don't know who's in their best 22. And I think with El Hooley around the same price, as long as he's not named the sub, I'd be going to start El Hooley. Ned Long, awkward price. He's in the 5s. I don't know who you're going from to him, if that makes sense. Is he an upgrade target off of Sullivan, or is he a downgrade target in the midfield? It's a bit awkward. He has been a really good start after the subbing. He's on 90, 72, dropped to 31, and then a 104. Again, I'm not going near it. He's up 132k. Probably a better footballer than fantasy player, so I'm not going there. And the last two in the top 10, Max Holmes, Kieran Briggs. Max Holmes, if you're going SDK up to a Max Holmes as you upgrade this week, I don't think that's a bad option either. I really wish I spent the 30k and started him over Tom Stewart. I'd be in a much better position than 4,600. I'd be probably pushing 2k. But Max Holmes, fantastic footballer. I don't think there's much to say. And then Kieran Briggs, I've been saying to people, don't make ruck changes unless big Tristan Sherry's named as out this week. I think you just ride the rucks because there's no point swapping rucks all the time. I think you just got to ride who you've got. People are telling me I can make 200k going from X or going down. I just think you're playing ruck roulette. Briggsy's only been scoring mid-80s anyway. He's not like he's going 95. I wouldn't do it. I know the run's good, but I'd just stick with what you got. So they're the trade-ins. The trade-outs, 13,000 people are getting rid of Sam Tekoning. I'm one of them. See you later. He's got to go. Goodbye. There's enough options there in defence or with DPP to make things happen. Joel Freyer, exactly the same option. Finn Callahan, probably wouldn't. I know he's not making money now and his break-even's only going in one direction, but I'm sure people have bigger issues to deal with. O'Driscoll should have got off him last week. That's what I did. Got rid of him and upgraded him to his teammate Andy Brayshaw, who's my captain. Tristan Sherry, 3.3 thousand getting off of big man, 150 break even. I don't see him going anywhere near that. And I was, not going with him more about the run versus the injury, but his time on ground's just not good enough. And I think he's just going to keep struggling. But I'm sure you've got other issues to deal with. Jackson Pryor, I think this is a bit reactionary. I know he hasn't been great. What's he priced at 500? If you could just turn him straight across to Bice, I know it's not an upgrade. It's actually, it's an upgrade. But I think Riley Bice, if you can get there from a Pryor, that's what I'd be doing. Closey, Davidson, Reed, and Campo. I wouldn't be getting rid of Davidson or Murphy Reed just yet. Campo, if you need to get rid of him, you get rid of him. But it's also nice not to see too many of my owned signals next to the players that are being traded out. My side, I'm not going to spend too long on it. These are my upgraded trades. I'm going SDK down to Tom Gross, throwing Hasty into my defence, and then looking to start Bice and Zach Reed this week to go with a Tom Stewart, which allows me to then move Levi Ashcroft from my midfield to the forward line and then move Hugo Garcia. The reason I'm going Garcia out, even though he's got the 29 break even, is he's the only player that I can get up to Dacos. So they're my trade plans ahead of round 6. Again, there's probably things that are going to happen this week that make me want to change that. The reason I've gone away from Horn Francis is I just want to have another week of looking at the forwards because I don't really know if Horn Francis is the guy I want. Again, the Sydney matchup isn't great. So I'm kind of like holding off for a week. Then if it means I do a downgrade somewhere, even if it's like a Lindsay or if it's a Moraes, if I can make a good couple 100K and throw that on top of Max Hall or a Connor Stone, then I can get the forward that I really want next week. So that's just my early thoughts. Midfield's really starting to look strong now. Dawson, Rosie, Brayshaw, Dacos, Clary, Ashcroft, and Chera. Very strong midfield. I'm almost back to where I was at the start of the season, but with mid prices. Now I'm sort of pushing that premium bracket in the midfield. And as long as I can nail my captaincy, I think we're going to be in a good spot. And it'd be nice if Tommy Stewart can get up and about because Ashcroft's scoring's been fantastic. Davidson's hit and miss. And I just got to play the roulette in defence. But very, very happy with where my team sits. Sitting at 4-6 overall. Can we push into top 2K? We'll see. Let me know your trade or benching dilemmas in the comments below because I'd love to help you out with your decisions this week. That's where I'm at. I'm going to try and get a few short videos out this week as well. So if you've been enjoying the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. In particular, we are pushing towards 1,000. So can we get there before the end of the season? That'd be great. But once again, thank you very much for all the support and all the videos. And I'll see you guys very, very shortly for another video.